You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click your live stream tab or watch us live on your smart TV on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn under WCEG Network. I am Wardell Richardson, your show host here on WcegWood The Hollywood of the South for the next hour. We are the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Subscribe free to our YouTube channel on WCEG Network. Like, follow, and connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and LinkedIn. We have some new platforms, by the way. Download our free mobile apps on iOS, Apple iPhones, and iPads. Go to the Apple Store, search for WCEG Talk Radio. On Apple TV, search for WCEG Network TV. On Apple Watch, search for WCEG Network. On your Android mobile phones and tablets, go to Google Play and search for WCEG Talk Radio. Last but not least, the topics and opinions are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director, host of WCEG The Hollywood of the South, CEO of Rain Dance Films. I am so happy to be here right now. I have my special guest ready to go, but before we get started, I have a few announcements to make. On October 25th, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit because this guy is one of the stars of this particular film. And I'm also in the film. So, this is going to be a dope interview. But A Rose Through Cancer will be premiering on October 25th, 2025 from 6 to 10:30 p.m. Red carpet starts at 5:30 p.m. through 6:45 p.m. The movie starts at 7:00 p.m. The location is at the Clayton County Performing Arts Center at 2530 Mount Zion Parkway in Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. Once again, the premiere is next Saturday from 6 o'clock to 10:30 p.m. Man, y'all do not want to miss this A Rose Through Cancer. It is a very, very great movie. Emotional movie. Bring your tissue because you're going to be crying a little bit. But it's some fun parts in it too. So make sure you come and check us out. Once again, it's next Saturday. Red carpet starts at 5:30. The movie starts at 7 o'clock. It will be at the Clayton County Performing Arts Center, 2530 Mount Zion Parkway at Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. Now, if you don't know, I am an actor, producer, director. And when I say actor, I've been doing this for well over 15 years. If you go on Amazon, I have several movies out: The 30-Day Rule, How to Love a Sister, Dream On Dreamer 1, Dream On Dreamer 2, which is a 3-part movie. The third part will be coming out beginning of next year. Object of My Infection, The Tree Widow, and Flesh are all on Amazon. All you got to do is put my name in. All the movies will come up. Just pick the one you want to watch and make sure you hit me up and tell me what you think about them. There's a movie on there called The Killing Secret. I'm not in it, but I directed it. So it is my directorial debut movie. It has won awards over in Cali. So make sure you check that out. It's a pretty dope movie, but I have films on almost every network except Netflix. So make sure you check me out on Tubi, Peacock, Hulu, Falcon, and Amazon. All you gotta do is put my name in, and the films will come up. And hit me up. Let me know what y'all think. I like to get feedback. I'm not one of those people that be hiding in the bushes. Just hit me up. Let me know what you think. And I love good feedback, bad feedback, whatever it is. I want to hear from you. Now, something very important that's going on right now are the local elections. Make sure you go out and vote, people. You have no idea how important it is to vote. If you don't know, look at who our president is. So please go out and vote. If you don't know where you should vote at, where your polling place is, go to www.mvp.sos.ga.gov, and you can find your polling place. Early voting started on the 14th all the way to the 31st. The election day will be Tuesday, November the 4th. Please pay attention to what's going on in your community. Pay attention to what's going on in your state. Pay attention to what's going on in your country. These are very important. Choosing the right presidents, choosing the right governor, choosing the right people to run your city, mayors is very, very important. And like I said, if you need any better example, look at who our president is. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. With that being said, I want to introduce to you someone who this man has done some of everything. And I honestly didn't even know he did as much stuff as he did. I learned all this just recently, and now he's on my show, and I'm like, man, he made time to come on the show so that we can promote him. He's amazing. I met him the first time I met him was when we did the movie, and we were all friends. We had to all be friends in this movie, and he was just so cool and down to earth. But I had no idea that his background was as extensive as it was, because he's so humble and cool and just down to earth. So I would like to introduce to everyone, man, former NFL Patriot football player, actor, singer, songwriter, Olrick O.J. Johnson. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro.
Appreciate you having me on, man. I really appreciate it, man. It's just good to talk to you over the last couple of days and reignite
Yeah,
the film, man. And I can't believe that when you were talking and you said next week Saturday is
yeah,
premiere.
yeah.
Wow, wow. I mean, it is really next week because today's
Right.
Thursday.
It's
So
next week.
we're definitely excited about that, man. And then once again, I'm gonna say this like 3 or 4 times. Thank you for having me on your platform, man. I appreciate it. And to all who may be watching now or maybe seeing this in the future, we appreciate you supporting us.
No doubt, man. And I appreciate you for coming on because, bro, you know, we're gonna get to it. I'm trying to jump ahead
It's all
already.
good. It's all
So
good.
let's just start from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
You were in the NFL, man. How did that even come about? Was football your first love, and what happened?
Man, great question. And since we say from the beginning, I'm gonna give you a little backstory and
Okay,
how that comes about. So, I grew up, in Miami, Florida. I'm from Miami, Florida, um,
okay,
Dade County, and my parents are from there and grandparents and everything. And long story short, there is a history, especially on my father's side. My mom's side a little bit too, but my father's side very heavy history in the music business and a very heavy history in sports,
okay,
especially football. My dad, those who know football, they'll know Miami Northwestern High School is known as one of the nation's best schools every year. My dad was the first person to ever get inducted into that high school's Hall of Fame. Um,
okay.
we still do it. The band plays the song all the time. We grew up with this stuff, and
Right.
I have a total of 9 sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Okay.
long story short, one of my dad's brothers was the original member of Casey and the Sunshine Band. Was a musician. My dad helped manage that band. Built a studio right next door to the house that we lived in. Put it all in one gate. There was a studio there. That's where they would rock out. That's where they would record a lot before they toured. And then my dad also had a brother who was a professional NFL player who played 9 years for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a linebacker named Cecil Johnson. And so
Okay.
I had all these influences. Long story short, as a young kid, and I always knew my dad was a singer songwriter too. He did 3 albums and all that with the church, and so I always was around a lot of greatness, and I just wanted to soak it all in because I felt like I could. I didn't know I had gifts like that as a young man at 5, 6 years old. But once I
Hmm.
got to 11 years old, became part of the arts programs and things like that. I never could run away from either of those things. So when you ask me, but I will say this: when you ask me what's my first love,
Right.
it wasn't football.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't football. My first love was not football, and my first love is music.
Okay.
It's music. I love music. I play the piano and I I played the bass. The bass was my first instrument. Then started playing the bass in orchestra and all that, and I learned how to read music with the piano. My dad bought me a baby grand, which sits in my house to this day. You know what I mean? And so
Okay.
learned how to play by ear and then start singing, songwriting, and stuff like that at a young age, around 15. I started background singing for Betty Wright. God bless her. R.I.P. to her, like a godmother to me. Betty Wright and Gloria Stefan. I was touring with her and John Cicada, who these are singers out of Miami. You know, Gloria Stefan, everyone knows who she is, but Betty Wright, soul singer, John Cicada. And I was doing that starting at age 15. And that's when I actually started playing football at age 15. So it was, tackle football. So I just wanted to do everything that I could do.
Yeah.
Football for me, it was music. Then it became football.
Okay.
Acting was in there a little bit because if you sing, you got to do a little musical theater.
Right.
I was part of a lot of arts programs and musicals. But I was a shy kid. I was a shy kid, bro. The only time you can get me to open up was when I'm talking a lot right now. I couldn't do this. When I
Right.
was a kid, the only time I opened up and expressed myself was through song or through music. That was the only time that I could
Okay.
express myself. The reason acting came in to become almost a tie with music as my first love was because when I went to college, I was a good football player in high school, but I wasn't great. You know, I'm in the Hall of Fame at the high school and all
Hold
that.
on, man. You say you wasn't great, but you made it to the NFL,
No, no,
so
no. Let me tell you though. Let me tell you why. And my
okay.
and you know, I'm a Hall of Famer at that school too. So I hold myself to a very high standard, and
Okay.
I got so I'm kind of critical on myself first. Some people will say, "Man, you was awesome, you was great," and to me, I just knew I wasn't all that I could be. The reason
Okay.
being it was because I was nice. I'm a still humble, and my personality is cool, calm, and collected. So
Okay.
I would knock you down, but then I would wait and pick you back up. And so that wasn't really what helped me to be great was becoming a theater major at Florida A&M University. And when I became a theater major, I learned what a character analysis was. I never forget that in my first class,
Yeah.
learning what that meant. How does this, before you play the role, before you even read, how does the character walk? How does the character talk?
Right.
Do they have an accent? You know, what is their sleeping patterns even? We got that deep with it in classes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I became great as a football player because I actually before every game went into character, and that character is OJ. Those are my initials. It has nothing to do with OJ Simpson, you know what I'm saying? Those are my initials. But I
Right.
named it OJ, and so before every game, I would be in a stall somewhere getting into character. And
Gotcha.
so now I was able to match my athletic talent with a personality that wanted to actually hurt you
Wow.
and do his job. So that's what that's about, man.
You know, that's that I've never heard anybody relate the two in that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very distinct way. I never thought for a second you could take a character analysis, like you said, and carry it over to football
Yeah.
and you become this character in football. I just never even thought about that.
Yeah, and me neither. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never thought about it, Wardell, before, but it was the best thing. And
Right.
that's I'm a God centered person, so I may always go back to God, but He knew what I needed because I needed uh, to make my dream come true, if you say, of being an amazing NFL player, amazing college player that becomes an NFL player, like my uncle was. To make my dream come true to be an NFL linebacker, that's what I needed. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't stay the humble, nice guy that had all the talent, but didn't know how to really get the most out of it. And being
Gotcha.
learning theater helped me do that. So I wasn't necessarily acting, but like you said, I was getting into my character.
Yeah. Yeah.
My character of OJ is really not that the dude you want to be messed with, and that helped me get to my goals, man.
Okay. So what about how long were you playing? How long were you in the NFL?
Yeah, 5 years. Mhm.
5 years. And what made you decide to stop playing football?
Yeah, you know what? It was an off season. I was dealing with a lot of injuries, and I was out in Vegas with a mentor, big brother of mine, Randall Cunningham, and we started to do music, and Randall started he started a company named Remnant, which he's a pastor now, and it's called Remnant Ministries. But
Okay.
he started a company named Remnant, and I was also already singing with his group, and I was helping him do, record music and stuff. Because when he started it, he built a big 5,000 square foot music studio, and he didn't know what to do with it really. And
Mm.
I was one of I was one of his teammates actually at the time. And he said, "Man, could you help me in the off season?" And long story short, I started getting into that so much because it was bringing me back to one of my first loves. And then I was recommended because of a knee injury to take some time off. And when I took that time off, uh, I knew it was time to go to the next thing and go start doing things that I really really was still passionate about, was love doing. Um, and my body was hurting. I'm not gonna lie to you. My body was
Yeah.
hurting. So when I got that call to be signed back to the team, um, believe it or not, I said no. I wasn't. I didn't want to do it anymore.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing, man. Because it was a movie that came out where they was talking about the football players and the concussions that they get,
Uh,
and injuries.
the one with Will Smith in it.
With Will Smith, yeah.
What's that called? Is it called not called concussion? It's called.
It was called concussion, wasn't it? Something like that.
I know what you're talking about though. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of it. I can't remember.
Yeah. So that movie taught me a lot about football,
Yeah.
and the physical damage it can do to your body, your brain.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a lot to it. And all of that was something that affected you. I'm assuming that's why you decided you were just going to go ahead and start something else.
Absolutely. I didn't know why I felt that way at the time. I didn't.
Mm,
You when you're, I think almost every pro athlete, especially NFL players or pro football players, even to make it to that level, you have to have you have this sense that you can do anything. I could run through a wall if you want me to. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
That's what you feel like you're doing every day, and you don't ever doubt yourself. You know, you never admit to that, even if you doubt yourself inside. You just have this "I'm gonna overcome everything" thing going on in your. That's just your psyche. And
right,
but when you take some time and you really realize what's happening, you know something's off. And for me, that's what was going on. I just knew something wasn't right, and and I'm glad I did. You know, I'm glad it didn't work out where I wasn't able to come back to the team, because I don't know what kind of damage that would have done in the future for me, or
right,
could have done, I would say, in the future with me. Football, you want to be at your best. You know,
yeah,
especially when you're playing against the best of the best, of the hungriest of the hungriest. You want to be at your best. And if you're at, I would say, I tell even youth this. If you're we I grew up in a time where with football, if you can walk, if you can run,
yeah,
who cares if it's half speed, you get back out there. It didn't matter if you had to take a play off and they put the smelly sauce in your nose, and you because your head's blurry, because that really happens. Now we know those are concussions, right?
right.
Right? Now we know, because it's been exploited here now. But the point is, we take a smelly sauce, and you go right back out to the next play. Or you're standing there in the middle, and you're in the huddle, and you don't know what's going on because you're blurry,
Wow.
and you're just hoping it comes back and straightens up before the next play. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, but that whole theory of like, play if you hurt, if you got a knee injury, if you still can walk, go play. I definitely don't teach that, and let people think that that's good anymore, because it's not. If you're not at least 70%, I say it's best to like take that game off. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Take that week off. You know, go on IR or go on to practice, whatever they got to sign you to, uh, and especially as a professional, because you got to take care of your money. Make sure you take that week off, because they're going to judge you by the last thing you did,
Yeah,
not the last year, because you made the Pro Bowl, not because you was the player of the week before.
bro. That's how it is in anything you do.
I think it's even more exploited in sports and entertainment. You see it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you live this life, so they correlate a lot when it comes to that.
right. Name of that movie is Concussion, I was just told.
It is concussion. Okay.
Yeah. But so you doing football,
Yep, 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 yep.
you know, when I was in high school, they begged me to play football, bro. They begged because I what happened, I made a mistake. I'm gonna tell you, it was a mistake, it was a good mistake.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
But I was playing around with the quarterback one day just out in the field, and the football coach happened to be out there, and I didn't see him. And he just threw me a long pass, and I just took off running because I used to run track and everything. And
Oh,
I ran track, I got to the NFL, caught the pass. Man, he begged me the rest of my high school to play, and I just wouldn't do it. All my friends were getting broken legs, broken arms. So I'm just like, yo, I'm not getting into that.
no, no,
So,
no,
and
good.
I'm not scared to tell anybody. I was terrified to play football, man. I was terrified because I was like, these people, my friends, getting hurt, getting cast put on, all kind of stuff. Like, nah, I'll be safe playing basketball. So
Play basketball.
I played
What
basketball,
you told me. I was okay. No, I gotta ask you this question. What position do you think you would have played?
wide receiver,
And when I see you, I
because
see you
I was tall and slim when I was in high school.
slimmer. Okay, a lot.
Yeah. I wasn't the big guy that I am now. I was a lot slimmer. That's like a tall, slim guy. And so I already knew when I caught that pass that he threw to me all the way down the field, I was like, oh, he gonna want me to play. And that's exactly he begged me for. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I
because
couldn't do
you can't see height. That's why coaches gonna go when they see height and athletic ability, they're gonna go after you. You can't teach.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd be a good tight end, but I'm looking
Tight
at
end? Okay.
I'm looking at your size now though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Back then I was a little skinny dude, man. My I'm talking about I couldn't keep weight on me if I wanted to. Now weight packs on me quicker than
You're a little older, man.
oh yeah.
You're a little older.
Now so you got out of football, you got into singing and stuff, and you wasn't just singing, bro. You wrote, you worked, written, and produced for Usher, Tweet, Mario Winans, Tony Terry, Jasmine Sullivan, Missy Elliott, Yolanda Adams, Donna McClurkin, and man, how in the world? Because some people can say, yeah, I just got into singing. Well, you didn't just get into singing. Like you got deep into the heart of singing.
Yeah.
Now, how did that all transpire?
Oh man, you know what? Sometimes it's like because when I hear people say, and remind me of how I got it, it's kind of tough to even explain one thing that led to it. It's I just honestly, I would say this. This was what happened. I retired around 2005, and then I 2005 2006, and the first thing I did was I did my own single, and then I did my own album, which I produced and wrote everything all by myself. And when I did that, it was more of an R&B kind of gospel album on the BB and CC type tip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was touring and everything like that. And at the same time, friends of mine were becoming friends of mine, like BB and CC Wines. BB is a great friend of mine, and they would tell me, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And I started working with the NFL Super Bowl Gospel Celebration, which is now called the NFL Super Bowl Soulful Celebration, which is the biggest event of Super Bowl weekend, the most televised and most watched event and most streamed event of Super Bowl weekend, and it has been for over 20 years. A lot of people don't know
Okay.
because it basically brings the NFL community and it brings the entertainment community together. And so that had a lot to do with meeting a lot of the people that I've worked with and done things with because I mean the best of the best. We started off with like the best of the best, like goddesses like Patti LaBelle and
Yeah.
but Gladys Knight. I'm sorry, and people like that would come to the show all the time. And then of course, you had the gospel greats that were there all the time, and Fantasia and all these people were always around. And so, basically, I was the guy who I guess you could say could really, really sing and do music. That was the NFL player. And so I was that token guy that would push out a lot. Much love to Melanie Few, who lives here in Atlanta, a big sister of mine who owns that project. But they were pushing me out a lot. And then I became one of the founders of the NFL Players Choir. And and we've done so much over the years, and we're still doing a lot of great things with a lot of people. And I just think that that was kind of like
Hey,
a
you just hold on. You just kind of skimmed on the NFL Players Choir.
oh yeah, NFL Players Choir. So yeah, so the NFL Players Choir kind of organically came out of the Super Bowl gospel celebration, which is now the Super Bowl celebration. And it organically came out of it because Patty one day was hearing us playing around some in the back. We always when NFL guys get together, it's like
You know, so a lot of other guys can sing too, or
yeah, you know what? Surprisingly, there were some guys that could sing, and
okay,
well, I'm not gonna say everybody is like really great singers or trained,
right?
but there were some guys that maybe they grew up in the church, or maybe they used to like to play an instrument, and she would hear us playing around in the bathroom and stuff, or in the stalls or whatever where we'd be because we'd be at these big venues, and she called us out. She started calling people out. I heard you backstage. Come on, while she in the middle of her set and asking us to do songs. And it was that in front of a big audience, and it was that kind of organic. I said the next year, we started rehearsing and we started making it more of a this is going to be like a choir thing. And
Wow,
yeah, so that's been going on for over 15 years. And
really?
yep,
Man, I never knew about that. Now, how can people? Is there like music out that people can go listen to?
great question, man. We're actually working on some projects now, especially with when it comes to like the Christmas season, because we've been begged to do those type of projects for a long time. So we're working on some stuff now, but we've been touring for a very long time, not as consistently because it's such a big group of people. So there's a smaller group of us that kind of represents the choir for more things, and we can move around and we can move and shake a little bit more. Um,
Okay,
but yeah, man, it's at Players Choir on Instagram. You can check us out anytime, and it's fun, man, because now we get a chance to do. We always did gospel stuff, we always did inspirational stuff, but we get a chance to do
okay,
with the smaller group. We get a chance to do any type of thing. We do a lot of cover songs. We do a lot of things for the nonprofits. We do a lot of things for events. Our last event was actually with oh God, I don't forget the name, but it was Montel Jordan, Matthew Knowles, uh,
okay.
do things for cancer research. I think I talked to you about that a little bit. And so
Yeah.
we're having fun, man. They actually have an event tomorrow. I'm not gonna make it because I'll be somewhere else. But we're always doing things, and then going back to your question, like organically, like things just started to happen. I got in the music studio, and a good friend of mine who I kind of helped get into the business a little bit. His name is Lamb. He's one of the top producers that's worked with Beyonce. He's Missy Elliott's main producer. A lot of people don't know this, but when Missy came up, it was her and Timbaland. But
Right.
Timbaland started doing more of his own thing or became so busy with writing for everybody else. She got with the guy named Kanan Lamb, which is they call him Lamb. And I went to college with Kanan. You know what I'm saying? And we're both
Okay.
from Miami, and he, would ask me, "Hey man, how you get into doing this?" Because I was signed with a label called Big Three Records as a songwriter, and he was asking me. He was just trying to get in the game, and I helped him get in the game. People were listening to his stuff, and he just got with Missy and blew up, man. So
Wow.
anything you've seen that Missy's done over the last almost 15 years has been him, and he was all and so I helped him get in, but then he also exposed me to all these other people as well. So and
Gotcha.
once people get matter of fact, he and I did the first thing the first time working with Tweet and Missy was he and I, and that led to other people, and it just kept working like that, man.
Man, that is amazing. That's because Missy is one of my favorite artists, by the way. She
Oh
is
man,
freaking
she's my
phenomenal.
I mean, she could Hall of Fame. I think Missy got a star now, man, and she deserves it. And
She
she's
deserves it. Yeah, she been doing this for a long time.
the most humble people you could ever meet, though. Like,
Really?
but yeah, man, just humble, down to earth, kind of shyish. but
Wow.
a genius. That she has her own style. I mean, you talking about Jasmine Sullivan. I mean, so many people Missy's worked with, but you talking about who she's groomed. Jasmine's one of those people. She started grooming Jasmine like probably 12 years old, I think. I first heard Jasmine Sullivan stuff when she was like 11 or 12.
You got a unique voice, man. Her voice is like when
Yeah,
she starts singing, you know it's up.
crazy, crazy, crazy. And she sounded like that at 12 years old, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, man.
So how did acting come into play? Because now you went from football, singing, now you're an actor. You've done a lot of stuff in film. I mean, in film as well. So explain that because you also did theater.
Yeah. So acting, really for me, like I said, a little bit in high school, but I was a shy kid. I only got those parts because I was at a magnet school and they needed somebody who could sing. I keep it real with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I got to college and I said like I majored in theater, I couldn't major in music because it interfered at FAMU at Florida A&M University. Those classes interfered with our football schedule. And so I had to, and I knew my next thing would probably be theater. So I did theater, majored in it. That's when I really, really got into it. And I saw what it did for me. And I talked about it earlier. What it did for me on the football field was amazing, obviously. But what it did to me as a person was allow me to open up and be comfortable with people. It allowed me to be comfortable on any stage, no matter what it,
Right.
you know. I think those little things for me turned into the big things. And then
Yeah.
I fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to get to get out of yourself and get into somebody else, and live.
Yeah.
And I became really great at it. I will say I did pretty good in college, and then I just knew that was the next move for me. I was actually I was my manager. Her name is Natalie. She's not my current manager now. We do a lot of business ventures together. But I was actually at a Super Bowl gospel celebration, going back to that. I was there one day. We had fun. It was the party to end all things. And we're walking away, and with a former Carolina Panther, his name is Mike. And we were leaving. We was going to go to another party. And before I went there, before I was going to the car, something told me to stop. And he kept walking to the car. He's talking, and he was like, "What's up, bro? You straight?" And I stopped. I said, "Man, I got to go back in there." He said, "For what?" And I said, "I just got to go back in there." I walked back in there, and God told me, He said, "Your manager is in here." And this was for film and TV. I was still living in Florida at the time.
Okay.
So I walked up to her. She was sitting there. We started talking. We knew all the same people, and she just was like, "I've never met you before, and I've heard about you." And so, long story short, I started coming back and forth to Atlanta. She got me introduced to Miss Natasha Garcia, who's at AGI. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but AGI Studios is really, really known for developing young people, especially.
Okay.
And so, long story short, she got me over here. I would come here back and forth from Florida. And I think and then I moved here for like 6 months, stayed with my boy Tommy Ford. Tommy and I
Oh,
were,
yeah.
yeah, Tommy and I were already
A
friends.
friend of mine too.
I know, I know, I know. He's a great, great person. So Tommy, had just moved to Atlanta. This was like 2013. I think he had just moved to Atlanta in 2012. And he always say, "OJ, you need to come. You need to come," because Tommy and I, we co-host. We were friends because Tommy lived in Miami. Also,
Okay.
because we both were like on a 5-year contract, hosting events for Champ Sports, and so we would host events, concerts, and stuff like that together. So that was my boy.
Yeah.
And I told him I was gonna come to Atlanta. He was like, "Man, you stay with me." So we stayed. I knew his whole family. It was all good, his kids and everybody. So I stayed there for like a year. And I would say within 6 months, I booked Hell Hath No Fury Like a Woman Scorned. Tyler Perry's Hell Hath No Fury Like a Woman Scorned.
Right.
With him. And then when I booked that, we did that. We did that recording. Then I booked Candy Burris' A Mother's Love. which was amazing. That was fun. And of course, these became friends of mine, you know.
Right.
And then right after that, signed a 5 project deal with TP Studios and just started touring and doing all those things, man, from background singing to touring to TV shows. So that's how I really got into the game. I had to take that leap of faith. I stopped when
Right.
God told me to do that. Talk
Yeah.
to a person who's now one of my best friends in the industry. And, she's like, you got to come to the A. And that's what happened, man.
Wow. I've been in Atlanta all my life, man.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that.
yeah, born and raised, man.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yep, born and raised. So I have been through and seen a lot in film. I've been in film for over 15 years. And, at some point it got kind of redundant. Like, it wasn't fun to me after a while. Like I did it for a long time. Then it got not so fun.
Yeah.
Because, in Atlanta, there was a lot of people lying, making up stuff, saying this, saying that, saying they're gonna put you on, saying they're gonna do this, and
You're not
nothing
gonna
ever happened. You would
right,
start working on projects, and all of a sudden they'll just stop and no one tell you why it stopped. It was a lot of crazy stuff going on.
right, right. That didn't
And
make you
I
feel.
just, bro, I kid you not, then I started working with this company.
Mhm.
We were producing films. We fell out. And after that, I took about a year break. I just couldn't take it anymore. I just, it didn't become fun to me like it was, but I still had something in me for it,
Right.
but it wasn't fun to me anymore. And about a year later,
Mhm.
and this is how you say when God tells you something,
Yeah.
you go with it.
Yeah.
Because after that year, I was asked to do a movie, a domestic violence film
Mhm.
called The Last Time. And when I did that movie opened up the doors for me in every way possible
Wow.
after that year. And sometimes I think you have to take some time to because you took some time off. You said
Oh,
you took some
okay.
time,
Yeah.
and you just have to kind of reevaluate yourself, reevaluate the situation. Decide where you want to go, how you want to go, just something you really want to do. And
Mhm.
that movie opened up so many doors. Even me hosting this radio show,
Wow.
it opened a lot of doors for me. And now I love act. I love everything about it. That feel for me came back. The love for it came back.
Yeah.
So when you got in the film and you start working, you say you took a hiatus after a while. What was the cause for you to take a hiatus, and why? What was it that made you come back?
Yeah. Well, for me to take a hiatus was, it just was a mixture of things. Some of it was, I'm trying to concentrate on my kids. My daughter, who's now in college now,
Yeah,
she's a freshman, and I was always gone. Like to be honest with you,
right. Yeah,
I was always on the road. I was always touring, or when I was home, I was working on projects, and that was that. That had a lot to do with it, and then some of it had to just do with taking care of my body, taking care of my health. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to make sure had some things that was just a little bit not the same. It wasn't you know some things I was dealing with and with health, and I was like, okay, let me make sure I got all that together.
right.
It might be maybe I'm running too hard here. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
doing because I'm trying to do not trying, but I am doing. I'm doing everything. Like
right.
you said. I mean, I'm doing a little bit of everything. I do love to do everything at a high level, and so I um I had to take that break. Saying kind of recalibrate, get myself back focused. Got off social media. And if I didn't get off all the way, I just stopped, using, a lot of
Right.
trying not to be distracted by that and just kind of focus on getting my getting my priorities right. And that
Right.
year seemed like probably can relate to this. Maybe you can. It seemed like forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a true story here, and I apologize for going out of camera because I don't want this to I don't want my computer to die. So let me make sure this doesn't happen. One second.
It's all right. But man, I have to say, you have done your thing in this business.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking now at some of the stuff you did as an actor, singer. You starred in numerous Tyler Perry musical projects, including Hell Has No Fury, like you mentioned.
Mhm.
Um, Hell Has No Fury, Woman Scorned, like a Woman Scorned. Love Thy Neighbor, Boo. So
Yeah.
you you've been pretty busy, man. I did Meet the Browns with Tyler Perry
Oh,
many
nice. Yeah, yeah.
episode on his TV series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, TP, man, people have their stories, and when you're in the public eye, it's always going to be something, man. But for me, I think it was about 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago, I was doing a project with Mark Swinton, who was one of the, you know, EPs over there at Top Air Studios, and love those guys. And I working with Tyler a lot. Sometimes you take, people need to hear, people need to know that you appreciate it. I would say.
Yeah.
I think I stopped. I think it was backstage, and I stopped, and he was talking to somebody, and I just kind of stood there for a long time, and he looked up and he was like, "Hey, OJ, what's up? You all right?" And I said, "No, man, I just want to say excuse me." He's like, "Why you have to say excuse me?" Because I was trying to be professional. He was like, "What's going on? You good?" I was like, "Yeah, no, man. I just want to say thank you." I just told him, I just want to say thank you because I never said thank you. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't out at the time. He didn't really understand why. I'll keep it real. I told you I was going back and forth to Miami, and I was staying with Tommy, of course, but they thought I lived in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So TP he never knew that I wasn't, all those rehearsals I was going to, I was
Right.
flying back and forth, trying to see my family and, you know,
Wow.
scenes at the last minute and all that stuff. He didn't know because I didn't want to mess up that opportunity. But when I shared that stuff with him, we laughed. And I just think, people got to hear, like, you know, they got to get their flowers, man. I don't care what they're doing in life and how successful they are. They need to know how much of an impact they have had on, your life, if that's the case. So
Right.
that was a special moment for me, man. He's done a lot of great things for a lot of people, especially when you talk about Black Hollywood.
Yeah, man, I hate what he goes through sometimes, because coming from where he came from, living in his car, trying to make things happen, and now he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
How many people can tell that story? And
I mean, especially when you go back to when you go back to how it came about, man. Like, I,
right.
I've been talking to him about, some of the stuff we were talking about myself, you know, hearing how he did that same play for 4 or 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Nobody came. You know, who has the faith to do that? Living in your car and you just keep trying to save up money to do one play, the same one, and
Yeah.
then one day, one year, people eventually they come and it sells out and does well. But yeah, that's definitely like a true story of faith test,
Yeah.
just staying in the game until you get what you want. But I mean, everybody has their opinion about everything. I choose to look at the good, and
I
more
agree.
than the bad. It's gonna be bad stuff. Maybe it's some stuff that's true, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't experience those things with him. Um, but if there is, I don't know. Everybody has good and bad in their lives. I just try to look at the positive things that people do more than I do the bad.
I feel you, man. This entertainment industry is crazy anyway, man. You don't know what's real, what's true, what's not true.
Yeah.
It's everybody's trying to get something out of somebody. It's like it's
So,
crazy, man.
do you ever feel like, now I'm asking you questions, do you ever feel uh, that, like you just kind of like want people to just keep it honest and keep transparent and just keep it real?
Man, yes, all the time. Just be honest.
Oh,
Just tell me what your goal is, what you're trying to do.
because guess what? I might be able to meet you where you are.
Right.
You never know.
You never know.
I'm gonna give a great story on that you can relate to. You at least you know some of the people involved. Michelle Purcell, you know what I mean? Who will be starring in this film.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's starring in this film. I will be interviewing her the next show.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm gonna get on her about that. She didn't tell me. But no, we were talking earlier today. But but no, Shell is just a good. It just is perfect what we just said. Sometimes people will meet you where you are. Now, this was I don't know how long this was now, 10 years almost, maybe 8 years ago. Shell was doing a film called Two Wrongs, our first one. Well, her first Two Wrongs. We did two of them, but she did a film called Two Wrongs. And I was moving and shaking. I'm just doing project after project after project, tour after tour, on the road and stuff with musicals. And long story short, um, my manager just got off the road, came to Atlanta, was about to go back to Miami the next day. My manager tells me, "Hey, you got to come out. She hanging out. You got to come out. I think this guy, you should meet this guy. I just got off the plane in Camp Creek. I'm in Camp Creek area right now." I'm like,
Mm.
I want to go home. I got a 6 o'clock flight in the morning. She's like, no, 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 you got to. Long story short, I go in there. She introduced me to this guy. This guy, I think he's just talking. I don't know. He sounds like he's just talking. So
Right.
and I was like almost rolling my eyes. And he's like, oh man, I got a film that I'm a part of, and they're auditioning tomorrow, and it's in North Carolina. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking brushing it off. I get in the car, and my manager's like, we going in the morning. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I back up my flight to the next day. Her and I drive at 2 o'clock in the morning over to North Carolina. It started at 8 o'clock. We slept in the parking lot. Got there at 6, I think. We slept in the parking lot till 8. I went inside, the long line of auditions, washed my face, and I walk into the audition for Shell's movie, Two Wrongs. I didn't know her from anybody, right? She knew the guy told her I was coming. That's all she knew. And it was an amazing audition. The room was quiet after I finished. And if you knew the piece I was doing, it was supposed to be. And I walked out and I knew I had the role when I walked out.
Right.
No smile on my face. I was still in the moment, but I walked out because I just knew I really did a great job. And so she came behind me, and then that starts our relationship. So we do this movie called Two Wrongs. Two Wrongs was her first, not her first, it was her first with this group of people she was working on projects with. Long story short, we do the movie, we film the movie. I had a great time doing the movie. It was the first time me doing things outside of the box of what I've normally done. Most of my stuff was I was playing a good cop. I was always playing a good role kind of guy. In this
Yeah.
movie in particular, I'm an a-hole. You feel me? Like
Right.
I believe I'm a cocky lawyer. So what? And I'm doing her wrong in a lot of the roles, and I'm sleeping with women and all that stuff. It's a really good film. And so, long story short, I would say 6 months after the film was done, 6 to 7 months, a friend of mine who's in the industry, who's a director and a producer, we just talking. I had worked on a project with him before, but I hadn't talked to him in like a year. We on the phone, we talking, catching up. And he stops me in the middle of a 30-minute conversation. He say, OJ, man, I'm stressed a little bit right now. I said, what's up? He said, man, I just got a 5 movie deal and distribution and everything. And I got to come up with I got two done, but I got to come up with three of them within like a 6 month period. You have anything that you've done that not distributed yet or has anything, going for it yet? Anything you've been in? I said, man, yeah, actually I do. It's called Two Wrongs, and I did it it finished 6 months ago. I think it's a great film. He said, you think it's a great film? I said, yeah. He said, send it to me. 20 minutes later, he hit me back. The movie's 2 hours. But 20 minutes later, he hit me back. He said, we on. We got it. Got a deal. And that's how that went on Amazon Prime and on every other thing but Netflix. And that movie has done amazing numbers. And it's still to
Right.
meet you where you are, right? So on that movie, I was co-starring with Shell on that movie, the first one. The
Right.
numbers, the numbers did so well, and I made the direct contact. It was my association with the producer that had the deal. So the point is, when Shell was like, I wish I can do something for you right here and all that. I said, no, it's cool. This movie's gonna do well. We're gonna work on another movie together, and we'll just do EPs. And that's what we did. The movie did really well. They came back, gave us a budget for Two Wrongs too.
Oh
But it's
wow.
and and I'm one of the EPs on that one, and then we've done other ones together. So it's meeting people where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Right.
you gotta keep it real with people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't act like you got it all together all the time. Nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's the
Right.
problem, man. That's the problem with people in the industry, especially. I feel like people feel like they gotta drive, they gotta go rent a freaking Lamborghini to spend, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta spend $2,000 for a night to play the role of somebody that they're not.
Right.
Personally, man, I think that's kind of sickening.
That's crazy. It's psychotic, man.
But it's easy to get lost in that world. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
It's
It
easy.
is.
Bro, I think
It,
sometimes you just gotta, you mature out of it. If you get lost in it, at some point you gotta mature out of that because that doesn't mean anything. There's no substance in that, and you're not gonna get a lot done from that because people see through you.
right.
People will
Let me
do
ask
you.
you something. So before, because time is going by so fast. I still got a lot to talk to you about.
Okay, I'm gonna get off.
Arose through cancer. So, and that was my first time meeting you on that set. And man, it was a great film project by Tiffany Roberts. Shout out to Tiffany, who's the writer and director of that film. That is a very emotional, impactful film.
Yeah.
How did you feel about doing that project, and what about it made you say, because before we had got on, you was talking about how you had took a hiatus and stuff, but this movie you felt like you had to do it.
Yes. Yes.
So what is it about this film that was so special to you?
I love films that can stretch me
Hmm.
as an actor, um, and take me to something in a place that I'm not necessarily as comfortable, and
Yeah,
this film, I knew when I read it, I was like, okay. And then when I knew Tiff too, I worked with her before, so I was like,
yeah,
and then she surprised me because she went times 10 Tiff on this one. I'm talking about as a director, I believe.
yeah.
Man, you were at the reading, right? So
Oh yeah.
it was like put it on his feet right now. So anybody who wasn't an experienced actor, even at the reading, you could tell because she was just ready, and I
Yeah.
just knows her story. Like she never shared that with me until we got on set.
Oh wow.
That was actually her story, even though we had talked about this role 3 years prior to that.
Right.
But yeah, what got me interested in it was that I knew it was going to stretch me in an area which is good to me. And then also, I'll be on working with her was it had a lot to do with it, and it was one of the reasons I was like, I got to do this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and getting the chance to work with Shell again was also a reason because we're really, really, really good friends, and we became good friends because of this industry. And we work really well together. We're really comfortable with each other. We've been stretched in that way on film,
Yeah.
and we've been friends for a while too, and we're very supportive of each other. So I just knew that that those three things, along with the fact that this film was going to tell a story that was going to help people, I was like, I had to do this film. Like I knew I felt like I would be missing out more. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about.
Yeah.
I felt like I was going to be missing out on an experience that I can't get back if I didn't do this film.
Yeah. This film, I think why it was kind of impactful for me.
Learned that on
But
stage. Yeah.
I already told my story, before. So for people who don't know, I had cancer. I found out I had cancer right before we started shooting the movie. And through the whole time we're doing the movie,
Mm.
I'm going through, I'm not, well, I hadn't started treatment yet, but I'm going from doctor to doctor. And I thought I was going to have to start treatment the second week before we finished. But through the grace of God, they kept pushing the time back.
Mm.
And when they pushed the time back, the final time they pushed the time back was a week after we finished shooting. And so, right, man, it was it was very hard to get through that movie at times
Mm.
because I didn't know what was going on myself, and
Yeah.
my mind was just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, it was kind of an emotional piece for me to do, because you like going through what the movie is about.
Like
And
that.
it's absolutely insane, man. But I got through it, and not even a week later, I go right into treatments and stuff like that. So it was a lot, and I'm glad that I made it through that whole situation,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I'm able to see the finished product of what we've done together. Because you was one of the first people I think I told you, Ladarian.
Yeah.
We was on set, we were just sitting there talking, and I just had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to keep it to myself. And I think the only person I had told was Tiffany.
Yeah.
Because I had told her like about a week or so, 2 weeks before we started filming. And
Yeah.
she told me, I said, I'm not gonna quit. You're gonna have to tell me I can't do it.
Mhm.
And she said, well, I'm not gonna tell you can't do it. So we're gonna have to work around it.
Dude, that's her. That's her. Yeah.
And I just loved her for that, man, for that, because I was just like, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And I was scared,
Mhm.
nervous, man. I can't even express to you, but doing this film with you and Darian and stuff, it kind of relaxed me, and I just stayed focused on what we were trying to do, and just because, man, we had a good time on that set,
Yeah,
man.
man. We had some fun. We did. We had some fun. We had some good scenes, some fun scenes. Although even sometimes when it was supposed to be serious, we knew how to just break the ice. And and that's the funny thing, man. Like the way you handled yourself, bro. When you talk about it now, and knowing
Yeah,
when you said something at that time on set, maybe at that time I was like, okay, maybe. But and then the next day you'd be right back on, bro. So, but that's kudos to your professionalism, man, and the ability to do that, man. That's hard, man. To be going
yeah,
through something similar to exactly what that's about in real time.
yeah,
Oh, like how could you even focus? How were you able to focus on getting through some of those moments, man? Like that's tough.
yeah. And I'm the comic relief. of the-
You are the comic relief of the film. You're the one that's always got a joke or playing around and like how did you? I mean, I know you kind of said it was tough, but like what do you think got you through that?
Man, I used y'all. Y'all didn't know I was.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But I used y'all to get through it. I was always coming to like talking to you or talking to Derry. We was always joking around and running lines and stuff, and y'all helped me to stay focused on the film and not focused on what I was going through. But then sometimes when I would see you do your roles
Mm.
and what you were doing with Shell, I was like, man, I had to, y'all didn't notice it, but I had to walk away sometime because
Wow.
it was getting to me,
Mm.
and I just never showed it,
Yeah.
but because y'all was so, man, y'all were doing it with them scenes, and people gonna love the chemistry y'all got.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all just next Saturday
Yeah.
from 6 to 10:30, you got to come and see the premiere because you're going to see some real true acting going on. Like it was a very impactful film. So I know if I saw that and we were just acting,
Man, yeah. I feel you though. I feel you.
yeah, it
Great.
was tough, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough because I would be leaving set, going to a doctor's appointment or leaving a doctor's appointment, coming to set. Like it was bananas. And
Wow.
they just telling me all this stuff, man. I had to try to push all that back and focus on the film. So
Hmm.
it was tough. But you guys, man, just hang around with y'all. Jeff Bass, who on studio we was working at, always playing around, man. I had so much fun, and it kind of took the weight off of me temporarily.
Temporarily, yeah. But
Yeah,
that's good. That's so good, man.
yeah.
I'm just happy that you shared that with me because I had no idea. You know, Tiff holds it down. Like whatever it doesn't. If you say it's personal, she's not gonna tell you. No, she doesn't tell anybody.
She not gonna say nothing, bro.
For
And
you,
she said she announced, she says people going through stuff, you don't know and stuff. When she said that, she knew it was me because me and Tiff been close for many years.
mm,
So when I first told her, it just messed her up, because it messed me up, because
right.
I didn't know. I'm just like, what? Like I work out, I don't drink, don't smoke, don't, well, I drink a little bit here and there, but I don't smoke, I don't, put any crazy stuff in my body, all that kind of stuff. But it wound up being that I had cancer, and you just don't even think for a second that that's gonna happen to you.
No, no. Why would you?
You
Like you,
know,
why wouldn't you? You have nothing. You have nothing. That's, and you know, I think I told you this on the phone, man. It has to be the God. First of all, He knows you. He knew you can handle it, and there's definitely a platform for it. And you know, even you sharing this with, there's some people you probably shared this with that watched this before. But I honestly hope that you continue to share. Always find a spot, man, to share that story, a little bit of it at least, even if you get tired of talking about it. No, share it because somebody's going through something similar, bro, and
yeah,
they have to know that it doesn't mean that everything is over. You know, it just means, hey, you know, it just might mean that, hey, this is what he's chosen you to go through this so you can help somebody else. But I will say, you know, you telling that story, it lets people know, man, nobody is indispensable. You don't know what God, you know, has for you, and people might say,
right,
"I'm saying God, that's you know, that's just, you know, that's an illness. He doesn't put that on you." No,
right.
but he can allow things to happen, and I think he allows it to happen to people he feels like can handle it, man. So you know, you can definitely, obviously, you can handle it, and you're gonna keep talking about it, man. I'm gonna hold you to that. I want you to keep expressing it, and I think there's even more that you're gonna be doing, connecting with people in the city and around the country and around the world that is gonna, you know, help people out, man. I really believe that, and I got some connections I want to connect you with that. To be honest with you, for
I
sure.
appreciate that, man. Penny says no one is exempt. She sent me little messages.
Oh,
About,
really?
yes, no one is exempt, and
You got to do better, right? Like we need to. I guess we got to get tested more
we
often.
do,
Come out as men, you know,
we
especially.
do, and especially us men, we got listen. Somebody told me to go to the doctor. Actually, Tiffany told me is the one who ignited everything with that.
Wow.
Let me know I had cancer. Because one day I was just talking to her, I had this little bulge in my neck, and I thought it was just swollen lymph nodes, which it was, but I didn't know it was related to cancer that was in my tonsil.
Mm,
So when I was talking to her on the phone one day, and I just said, "Man, I don't know what this is." She said, "What?" I said, "I got some type of little bulge in my neck." She said, "What did you say?" I said, "I got this bulge in my." She said, "You need to go to the doctor right now." I said, "What? It's just a little bulge on." She said, "Wardell, listen to me." She said, "Go to the doctor now."
mm,
And I'm being hard headed and stuff, man, because I'm just procrastinating. Because I'm like, it ain't that bad. 'Cause, I just didn't think it was, I wasn't sore, I wasn't hurting.
right. Right.
Everything was still working fine, you couldn't even see the bulge. I could feel it, but you could look me straight on and wouldn't see anything sticking outside of my neck unless I turned my head like that, and then you could see a little bulge right there.
Yeah.
Man, I get to the doctor, man. And that was all she. I just happened to tell the doctor, "Hey, I got this bulge here on my neck. I don't know." And boom, everything just went in a fast motion. She sent me to get a CT scan. Then I went to see an ENT. Then I went to this doctor, that doctor. Then I met an oncologist, a radiologist.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
So, man, I appreciate y'all for. I don't know if y'all know how much y'all meant to me to get through that,
Mm,
and the fact that you know, you guys, cause we had so much fun. Like I said, shooting it. We laughed about a lot of stuff. We laughed and had fun. And you guys helped me get through that, you know. So I want to thank you for that. I don't even think you realize sometimes people are just doing their thing and don't realize that they helping somebody, you
Yeah.
know, just being who you are.
Mm.
So I just want to say thank you for that, man, because it was tough. You, Ladarian, Jeff, you know, all y'all, man, y'all just kept me sane. Shimry and
Yeah.
you know, Tiffany and DeAndre, everybody just kept me, and Dieta,
Of course.
Dieta
Of course.
West.
Of course.
Dieta West just said she enjoying the show.
Oh, she's watching. What's up, D?
She's
What's up?
watching it.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I just wanted to say thank y'all, man. So on that note, man, listen, we done got close to the end. We done went,
Yeah, we went overtime, I'm sure.
we went over time, but man, I enjoyed talking to you, man. I've been wanting to talk to you, and ladies and gentlemen, you can see him and myself next Saturday
Right.
at the premiere of A Rose Through Cancer, October 25th, 2025. Time is 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Red carpet starts at 5:30 to 6:45. Movie starts at 7 p.m. on the nose. The location is at Clayton County Performing Arts Center, 2530 Mount Zion Parkway in Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. Make sure you go and check it out. I think there are some tickets still available, but I know it's close to selling out. I know it is. So hopefully it's still tickets left. I'm not sure, but I know it was close to selling out. So if you plan to go, if you've been thinking about going, you might as well just go and try to buy your tickets now because I know it should be selling out. It should be selling out. And man, thank you once again for taking the time out to come on the show, man. I really appreciate you. Deanna said, I can't wait to see y'all next Saturday.
Yeah, we
And
can't.
let's say who. So Deanna was also in the film. Who did Deanna
Yes.
play?
She actually played. Well, you
Her,
I thought you was about to bring her on, but no, you could.
huh?
I was just about to bring her on or something. I didn't want to say anything.
Oh no, I'm not gonna bring. I can't bring her.
But wait a minute, is she coming on there? But no, Dieta, she's amazing, man. I don't think we've ever worked together, but we knew a lot of the same. I mean, small industry. But
Yeah,
I think that was our first time being able to be on film together. I'm pretty sure it was. But I knew exactly who she was, and
yeah.
she's so well respected in this industry, man. Always bringing her A game.
Mama D.
Oh, D, you know what I love about Mama D though?
What?
You're not on point. She's gonna tell you. D, she's gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So, and she might find a sweet spot to tell you, a sweet way to say it, but she's gonna tell
Yeah.
you.
She is
I,
a sweetheart.
yeah, she's gonna tell you the truth. She know she's, and if you're doing well, she's gonna tell you the truth. If you're in that moment, she's gonna tell you the truth. I appreciate that about her, man. Much respect to Mama D for sure.
Yeah, man. She's a very impactful person in this industry. She
Yep.
has done a lot of stuff, and it was great working with her, you
Yeah.
know, as well on the show. It's good seeing her in anything I do, man. She's like amazing. So
I, I know we got, but I just want to say, for real, like working with actors and actresses that are like, real professionals is just really refreshing sometimes because, as you know, sometimes people call themselves something and they're not, and that some people might take that the wrong way, but I don't. It's just if you haven't put the work in or you're not serious about it, you can kind of tell when people aren't really. Maybe it's their first time, and that's okay.
yeah,
Or maybe they just do social media, and that's okay. There's a room for that. People making money off that. There's nothing wrong with that. But being a trained actor is really refreshing to work with other actors who are trained and have been in the game and know either one how to adjust and do things, to get things how to be directed, uh, and also how to prepare to come in. So it's hard to, this you can prepare to come in a certain way. That director might see a different vision. How do
yeah,
you do that? Can you
yeah.
actually nail it? And in this film, man, once again, a plug. Next week, premiering October 25th. If you can get those tickets, man, come get it because you're gonna see a lot of people who have been in this industry, who's doing great things right now and has done great things in the past. And there's a collaboration of that in this film, man. It's gonna be fun to watch.
All right, then, man. On that note, man, before we get off, how can people contact you, reach you?
Absolutely. So, like you said, I was off for a minute, but if you go to Ulrick.Jr., you can see me on Instagram with that, Ulrick Johnson on Facebook, or Ulrick Johnson Jr. on everything else, and at Players Choir as well. But the easiest way is Ulrick.Jr. on Instagram, Ulrick Johnson on Facebook. Would love to interact with you guys for sure.
And you have an album out too, right?
Yes, album is
Oh,
called
Bless My Soul.
Bless My Soul. It's done very, very well. Love the residual checks. Appreciate that. Keep them coming.
Where can people just go download it, or
Yes,
how can
you
they get to
can. You get Amazon.com is the easiest way to do it. There's other streams as well. It's a way to get to it, but that's the best way. And then if you go to Ulrick Johnson, and you can find a lot of things. If you just Google my name, find things that I've done, written, wrote, produced with people, man, would be great to support me in that way as well. Keep the residual checks coming. You know what I'm saying?
and your book name?
Say it again.
You have a book?
No.
Okay.
No, no. I've helped people.
Okay.
I don't have a book yet. No.
Okay.
It's in the
Because that's
process.
so.
You're talking
Finish
about
up.
Police to Curtains is what you're talking about. I think.
Okay.
So that's in the process. It's not out yet.
All right. Well, on that note, I want to thank you for coming on, man. This was an amazing interview. I wish I could keep you on a little bit longer because I still had a lot more to talk to you about. But thank you for coming on, man. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to plug this one more again.
Oh,
A
yeah.
Rose Through Cancer next Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Time is 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The red carpet is 5:30 p.m. to 6:45. Movie starts at 7. The location is Clayton County Performing Arts Center, 2530 Mount Zion Parkway, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236. And if you have not yet went out to vote, please go vote. Be a part of your community. These are local elections going on right now. If you don't know where to vote, go to www.mvp.sos.georgia.gov. .ga.gov. Once again, www.mvp.sos.ga.gov for your polling place. Early voting started on the 14th and is going through the 31st. The election day is Tuesday, November the 4th. Go out. If you don't know what's going on in your community, Google what's going on in your community. It's very important. And I hate to make this an example, but if you don't do what you need to do, you will end up with somebody like our president. So, so this is a prime example of you needing to go and vote. With that being said, this is Wardell Richardson of WCEG The Hollywood of the South. Thank you guys for tuning in on my next show, which is November the 5th, I think it is. November the 5th, I will be bringing on the other star of A Rose Through Cancer, the fabulous Shell Purcell. She is November 6th. November 6th. The fabulous Shell Purcell will be on at 6:30 p.m. right here on WCEG Hollywood of the South. And if you don't know who she is, if you saw the movie Straw, the one who kicked now I can't even Taraji, who kicked Taraji out of her home, the landlord that was out there fussing, saying all kind of stuff to her. Yep. That is Shell Purcell. She will be right here on November the 6th.
And now up for an NAACP award for that role as well.
Oh, wow.
That's a new thing. I'll let her tell you more about that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk to her about that. Absolutely. She did her thing, man. She's been everywhere. So shout out to Shell Purcell, man. She is doing it big, man, out that one role. And I tell you, that wasn't even a major role. It goes to show that it's not about how big the role is. It's about how you deliver and how much you put into it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as an actor. I'm Wardell Richardson right here on WCEG Wood, Hollywood of the South, signing out.